Warm blessings. Mastershamanpalichee here today, and today we are talking about Ntxoog Neeb, or false spirit guides, the humanly type anyway. We're talking about the three truths about Ntxoog Neeb, or the humanly false spirit guides. These spirit guides typically try to come through when your own spirit guides, the benevolent spirit guides, come through to try to help you or to try to direct you in a spiritual sense to the right direction. What are the three truths? Number one here is the meaning of Ntxoog Neeb. You must get to know the meaning of Ntxoog and what that all means in order for you to understand Ntxoog Neeb, which is the false spirit guides. These Ntxoog Neeb typically come through when your benevolent spirit guides come through to those that are either called or chosen to become a shaman. So the meaning of Ntxoog comes from the word Ntxoog, which also means shaded, dark, or shadowy. And anything that is shaded, dark, or shadowy, we typically get a feeling of negativity, right? And these are typically human spirits that come through, and these human spirits are described, that these negative human spirits are described as Ntxoog or Ntxoog Neeb. Number two is the ultimate goal of Ntxoog type Neebs, which is the false spirit guides. What are they here for and what are they trying to do? Well, the thing is that I was taught by my spirit guides, and after working with all these different type of Ntxoog Neebs that I had to get rid of, or at least heal them. The ultimate goal of these false spirit guides, or the Ntxoog Neeb, is to basically elevate themselves and to get away, for some of them is to actually get away from the negative energies that are controlling them, right? These negative energies that control them and are, they are enslaved by this negative energy. And these were once human beings on earth, and their spirits got caught up in whatever they got caught up in. And so their ultimate goal, as they have passed on and cannot get into a better area spiritually, they're trying to escape this negative entities or negative energies that have chained on them, basically embodied with them, so that they can't really reincarnate. So the ultimate goal is to elevate themselves either negatively or escape and try to become a positive spirit guide, which is also a sad thing to know about the Ntxoog Neeb, because most people are afraid of Ntxoog Neeb and they think that they're really bad entities, though they are bad and they are devious for some of them, right? There are some that are very weakened and very wanting out, but they can't get out now because they didn't do anything to release their trauma, to release their karma, to get rid of that. And also they have done bad deeds when they were still alive as human beings in a body, right? So these Ntxoog Neeb, or negative entities or negative spirit guides, right? Negative false spirit guides will try to come back with the positive spirit guides, and these can be human or non-human, but today we're talking about the humanly type. They will intermingle and pose themselves as a spirit guide that's going to help you, that's going to direct you spiritually as your Neebs, right, as your spirit guides. But in fact, they will spiritually direct a person to doing things incorrectly, and to doing things that's going to lag your whole life, and it's also going to cause you more karma in this lifetime. And also, instead, they get them to do negative and harmful things, harmful tasks that will traumatize themselves or someone else, and then cause more karma that way. They will also teach you or tell you to do, these negative or false spirit guides will also tell you to do nonsensible tasks that are tedious, and it's more than what you really need to do. So these false spirit guides, or Ntxoog Neeb, can be related or unrelated through your ancestors. What does that mean? That means that these spirit guides, or these false spirit guides that come through with the benevolent guides, were somehow related to you, and some of them are not related to you. So there's ones that are related and ones that are not related. Now the ones that are related to you, they're going to start to give you a certain tasks to do, or try to whisper things to you so that you can do it, and it's going to be very relatable in the traits of who you know in your family, right? And you're going to be similar to that trait as well if you continue to listen to the false spirit guides that's related to you. And sometimes they will be able to come through because they are related to you, and it's easier for them to come through that way as well with the benevolent guides. Now, once they come through, now if they're not related to you, it's going to be a little bit harder for them to tell you what to do, right? To direct you in spiritually in what to do. And you're going to be feeling a little bit sketchy about them because they're not related to you, especially the non-human ones as well. But the more humanly ones, it's going to feel like I have a connection to them at first, right? But at the same time, you're going to feel like it's too good to be true, right? So it's just a little back explanation in regards to these false humanly spirit guides. They'll come through with the benevolent guides, and these are once humans, like I said before. They passed away, including those who died very tragically or traumatized or brutally died. And they also are ones that either caused trauma to someone that was very bad, or they were caused trauma upon and then turned right around and caused trauma for another person. They also carried karma as well that they couldn't release in the lifetime that they lived. So they were never able to release all these negative energies within themselves, and it piled up one on top of the other, and it's just a ton of negative energies on top of the other during their lifetime when they lived. So after they transitioned, they couldn't still get rid of this negative energy as well that they carried along with them throughout the whole way of their lifetime into the transition as well. So these false spirit guides who were not able to transcend the darkness, so to speak, of the trauma, tragedy, karma, or whatever it was that was negatively impacted them, they had also caused in their lifetime. In other words, the trauma in their life. So not able to escape this thing that was chained to them even after they transitioned into the spirit world. So in the spirit world, they carry this chain, or they carry this marking on them that they now have to be enslaved by the negative entities or negative energies in the spiritual world, different dimensions. So they try to ease their way through whenever they can. Whenever there's an open door, they ease their way through with the positive energies, cloning themselves or disguising themselves as positive or benevolent guides, and they come right through the door, between the lines, right? And they try to come in and guide the persons or humans here on earth. As they come here to guide the humans here on earth, they steal their way in, and these are unclean spirit guides. So unclean meaning that they are of negative entities or negative energies intermixed with their own natural positive energies that they once had. But now they've gotten so negative or so carry on such negative energies that they can't really be positive anymore. So when they do this, when they come through the door, they are actually defying the celestial laws of the universe, right? And they're stealing their way through the door. They're stealing to become a benevolent spirit guide when they're not, and they are disguising themselves. And when they disguise themselves, it's kind of like a burglar that puts a hood on with the eyes out, right? And they go in and they become this person that they don't want anybody to see who they are. So they're disguised. Or they are disguising themselves as good when they're actually not good. Now, when the person here on earth receive these guides, these false guides, they tend to think, oh, it's my Kwanings. Oh, it's my spirit guides, right, is what they say. These are merely my spirit guides. I don't know why my spirit guides are treating me so bad that I have to do this and I have to do that. Or I don't understand that if I have spirit guides, why am I not elevating in my success? Why am I not having abundance? Why do I have all this illness? I don't understand why, if I have good spirit guides, why do I have to go through all this hassle or all these negative situations in my life? Why am I meeting up with karma over and over again? Now, karma has a couple components in it, but this is also one component, is when a false spirit guide latches onto you, and they are now giving you direction, spiritual direction, of what to do, what to say, or who to be with. So you think that you're getting psychic abilities, but actually, in fact, you're getting false messages from these false spirit guides. Some people try to get away from the false spirit guides that has latched on to the benevolent guides and has come upon them. It has given them an awakening part of their life. But at the same time, they feel like they're going through, it is also a crisis, right? It is also a very hard time in their lives that they had to go through in order to get to another place in time where they want to get to, which is the positive side of things. But they're not able to get there because of these false spirit guides that has decided to come through the door along with the positive guides that are trying to guide the person. Now, a person is going to try to run away and go and bring their belief to erase everything that they've had and known before and to believe in a different religion. It always happens in the Hmong culture or Hmong tradition, right? When a Hmong traditional person leaves their ways, leaves their roots and their ancestral ways to go and become whatever other religion there is. And they leave it because maybe one thing, they don't know enough about their own culture, their own spirituality. So they don't have enough information. They don't have a person, an elderly person, that even can teach them. And they've gone through so much trauma or karma in their life that they feel like they just have to leave that spirituality and go under a religion. So when they go under a religion, they're actually, the intention is to run away from what their roots were. And when they run away, they feel like these Ntxoog Neeb or false spirit guides are not going to be able to see them or find them in any way, shape, and form. Well, this is only true for those of you that has had past lives as another culture or in another culture or as another race in a different past life, right? If you've never had a past life in another race and in this lifetime you run away, so to speak, from the Ntxoog Neeb or false spirit guides, then you're going to run into some difficulties because they're going to also be there right along with whatever else religion that you have gone on to and cleansed yourself to become. They're going to still find their way through at some point, place, and time to come back and haunt you because you have not ever had a past life as another race or another nationality in another culture. So if you were always Hmong in your lifetimes before, it's going to be harder to ease into a different religion without being tracked by the false entities or the false spirit guides. So once the false spirit guide finds you after a while, you're going to end up going back into your own spirituality and then really trying to hone in and find out what is going on. You're having glimpses of past lives, you're having deja vu, you're having paranormal activity, and all these things are going to be popping up for you once that false entity or false spirit guide finds you. One thing is that when you end up back into your roots, you're going to try to find your way through your spirituality. You're going to try to figure out how to get rid of this false spirit guide. But sometimes most people are not going to think that it's a false spirit guide. They're going to think that it was their guides in general, their spirit guides, and they're going to blame it on the spirit guides. Once you blame it on the spirit guides in general and you haven't had a deciphering of negative and there's the positive, right? And they're all intermingled. And then you spit out words to really bash down your own spirit guides because you think that it's your whole spirit guides is at fault. They're the ones that cause all this karma. They're the ones that cause all the trauma. and to make it really hard for you and difficult in your life, in this life, then you're going to go into causing karma for yourself as well. And then there's the benevolent guides that try to stop you, which is also, we call that the conscience, right? The conscience tried to stop you or tried to tell you that don't go for that urge. It's not the right urge, but you're not listening to them. You'd rather listen to the false or negative guides because they are more fun, right? They want you to go do more fun things. They want you to do more things that are devious, that are negative, and it's going to hold you back, but you don't care because you have anxiety and you stress out about your spiritual journey. But at the same time, when you're spitting out words and you are just kind of really arguing with your guides in general, or you're bashing them down, you never should do that, because there's the negative ones that you need to call out, and then you don't want to say those type of things to the positive or benevolent guides that were always there to help you. So in the end, all in all, you'll need to decipher which was which, right? How much percentage do you have of the negative ones, and then how much is the positive ones? And at the same time, don't bash on all of your spirit guides, because there's the negative ones as well. For you to understand this greater and to get rid of this, you must be willing to meditate, and in your heart you must decide that you understand negative from positive. Each time there is a false alarm or false information given to you, you must be able to decipher with your own intelligent mind which was which. Are they telling me the truth, or are they giving me lies? Are they telling me something that's going to help me, or something that's going to harm me? So this is the way that you need to start out with deciphering. And the only way that you can decipher better is through meditation, a transcending meditation. That's all I had for you guys today. I wanted to talk about the 3 truths about Ntxoog Neeb, or in other words, false spirit guides that were humanly once on earth, and for you to understand and not be afraid of them, not fear them. At the same time, don't give your consent as well to them, so that they can't control you to where they need to go to, because they're trying to elevate. They're trying to escape. You need to find help. So you'll need to get some healing, some trauma, karma release, to help you remove some of this out of your heart, out of your head. Then it's your past lives. Warm blessings from Mastershamanpalichee, and we'll talk to you guys next time.